Hello there. So hang on, let me just adjust my hair. You know I'm a complete feminine woman, right? So yeah, I'm putting on my pink and I'm wearing my long hair and I have to do all of the mm, in Igbo language you call it silence. That is what signifies a proper lady that I am. So you're welcome to today's episode of the Oma Living Show and my name is Marilyn Oma Anona. Today on the show, we are going to be talking about journalism. How are they coping with all of the disruption that the internet has brought? Everything is on the go now. You wake up and breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Now we have the bloggers, we have the social commentators, we have everyone with a social media handle is automatically a newsmaker. How are the journalists, I mean the proper journalists, coping with this? And then we have the other aspect that deals with having our values so depleted because of the contents that are being churned out on the internet on a daily basis. The internet is a big blessing. I love it. I'm a millennial. It has helped me. It has helped me to build my brand. But on the other hand, I frown at certain things that I wake up to see. You just wake up and the next thing you see, someone is just twerking naked on your face. How do we cope with all of these? The other day, I think that was last year, 2019, we woke up to the news of Pete Edochie, one of our legends in our movie industry, dead. And he is very much alive. So today on the show, we are going to be dealing with journalism and how and the role they play in trying to ensure that our values are maintained and the right values are inculcated into people. Remember, this is Oma Living Show, and right here we deal with every nagging issue. But our ultimate goal is to inspire you and to make you be a better person. I'll be right back after the break.
If you be hear about Bitcoin for year 2010, where we say they said Bitcoin below 1 naira, you for like buy them. Whether your answer na yes or no, sure you know say that 1 naira Bitcoin where you for buy for 2010, it don't grow reach 2.8 million naira today so. It means say, if to say you buy 1 naira Bitcoin for that year 2010, your money for don't grow reach 2.8 million naira for the same 1 naira investment. You think say na lie? No worry, make we ask Google where we say it no dey lie at all. You say if you don't see am with your eye.
Welcome back. So on the intro, I told you I was going to have a seasoned, highly industrious, highly cerebral journalist on the show today. And he is here with me. His name is Babatunde Akintunde, the Slay King. He is a slayer. Don't mind him. He's just acting so gentle. Yes, he's gentle, but he's a slayer. Fashionable journalist. Nice to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure, Oma.
So please do the pleasure. Do have the honor of introducing yourself by yourself to the audience.
All right, my name is Akintunde Babatunde. I'm a media development professional with the Premium Time Center for Investigative Journalism in Abuja.
So you're an investigative journalist?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to take you a bit out of your comfort zone, all right? We are talking media, and we're trying to see the role of media journalism in values inculcation. All over the media, I don't know if you've noticed, all sorts of crap. Nobody monitors what goes out there. And I think it's pretty too overwhelming for everybody, including yourself as a journalist, right? Because the internet cannot be censored as much as we try. But how are you guys at the media, at Premium Times, as a journalist, how are you trying to come to a form of, how do you try to adapt to this internet craze and how things are just churned out? Fake news, all sorts. You just wake up and open up Instagram and the next thing you see a nude woman dancing. Or you just open up Instagram and you hear it. And it's the other time they said Pete Edochie was dead. And he's not even close to dying. So how do you deal with all of this?
Okay, I think your concern really is a major concern for many of us in the industry. at Premium Time Center, for instance, we've come to realize that the media is in crisis. The crisis of truth, the crisis of ethics. Because many a times we discover that the gatekeeping process of journalism, that is, when you are a reporter, you want to find stories. It's important for us to do layers of gatekeeping, layers of understanding how to what extent is this story, is it true, and then that's the job of the editor. The editor should at that point look at these stories and then get evidence to be sure that this is true before, because the truth in journalism is evidential truth.
True.
It's not, because the truth of today may not be the truth of tomorrow in journalism.
True.
So what I would say is that it's been a challenge for us, and that's why if you look at the entire media ecosystem today, we have fact checking. Okay. That's fast becoming a major force for us to grapple with in the industry. So we have fact checking journalism, where what you do on fact checking is to determine the veracity of claims. So you determine it can be text, it can be video, it can be pictures. So because you understand that the internet has led to a lot of disruption in this space.
Yes.
So and then the news consumers of yesterday are now newsmakers of today. So everybody that has a smartphone is now a newsmaker. The newsmaker. So in the past, you have to wait for it. Why the print? The print
to be
you
out.
have to wait for 24 hours before news will be published on.
But now it's on the go.
Before you even say you are finding your stories, it's already trending on social media. So that's why it's important for journalists, for media professionals, to be intentional about fighting fake news. To be intentional about tracking fake news and understanding which one is true, which one is not true,
false.
so that we are able to guide people, because journalism is a social purpose.
True.
And people they rely to a greater extent on what you push out.
True.
And for them to make informed decisions about their choices. So what we are pushing out is not true, and it has elements of falsehood in it, then it becomes a challenge for them to know which one are they supposed to get on, which one are they supposed to not
get on. Okay, now there's another issue. Now you're talking about journalists now. You're talking about seasoned journalists now. But you and I know of some of these internet blogs. I don't want to call their names due to ethical reasons. I don't want to call any name. But what do you have to tell? How do you, as a seasoned journalist, as a proper journalist, feel when you go online and you see some of them have huge followers? You see them with 2 million followers and all of that. And you read through and you find out that even from the captioning to the manner of writing, it is sheer rubbish. Yet people are consuming them. How do you feel seeing such things?
Right. I think there is a mix here. It's a different thing to be a blogger. And it's another thing to be a journalist. The difference there is ethics.
Yeah.
Every profession is bound by ethics. So that's why it's not possible for you to, even if you spend 20 years in the university, you cannot become a medical doctor until you are trained to be a medical doctor and you are guided by the ethics of the profession.
Yeah.
So what makes you a journalist is the ethical consideration.
Okay.
So we need to really understand what it means to be a journalist
and a blogger, or just a social
media influencer.
Sure.
So when you have people that have large, followers, what we do as a principle in fact checking is that before we get on claims to fact check, to verify the veracity, what we do is to look at the possibility of this particular news item to influence many persons. So if you have someone with 2 million followers get on a claim, what we do is to get on this claim and verify. So there are a lot of processes. The first thing is to understand, is this claim true? Say for instance, someone posted that there is fire burning in Wuse Market, for instance. At the time of reporting, we capture it and we first contact the person that made the claim.
Okay.
To say, can you tell us more about this particular fire incident? After that, you should know that there are gatekeepers in the market because there are stakeholders. Who is the head of the market? Let's make call. Are we close to Wuse Market? Do you even have a trusted source that can help you get around the Wuse Market? So when it happened during the election, the general election in Nigeria, you see a whole lot of issues. Banner snatching here and there. Gunshots, blah blah blah. What we do is we deploy people to many states, and then we try to reach our correspondent to confirm what is happening here. We heard this. What is happening here? And what we do is that we immediately tag. So we have a number. There is a Google reverse image search, for instance. It's a tool. it's ironic to know that the internet has done a lot to anchor fake news, and it's also something we rely on to fight fake news.
Yes.
So Google reverse image search is a tool where you can look at the history of a particular picture. So if a picture is pasted on the internet, for instance, you can use the Google reverse image to check the history of that image on the internet. So when you post a picture of a fire incident, for instance, I will use the Google reverse image,
and it's showing that it's not even in Nigeria,
and it can even tell that it has existed as far back as
5 years ago.
So you are like, what it tells you is to calm down before you file a story. But what most journalists or most people don't do, most bloggers, is that because they want to be the first to break the news.
Yes, and they want
and they want click,
yes,
this click whatever. So they fail to understand that there is what makes you a journalist is the ethical consideration.
Wow.
And the extent of truth that you are pushing out. And
authenticity.
And the consideration of that your first duty is, your first allegiance is to the masses. So it's not for self. Yes, not for self. So it's not about the number of clicks. It's not about who breaks the news first. It's about your integrity, the credibility of the kind of platform that you operate.
Wow.
So you have the Google reverse image search, you have the Tin High, we have another that's Tin High. It also tracks the history of picture on social media, on the internet. So once you use this particular tool to track the history of these pictures, it first allows you to understand the history of this particular picture. So we have for video, we have for YouTube, we have a YouTube data viewer, we have for there are ways you can use all these tools to understand
before you start delving into just anything and then making a mountain out of a molehill. Okay, Babatunde, away from fake news now, values. Oma Living Show is very concerned about values, right? I know that the major part of journalism is news, but yeah, we live in a society that everything is interwoven, right? So what role is journalism playing? Knowing full well that the internet, which has come to help us, has a lot of disadvantages too. What role do journalists play in trying to see that the right values are inculcated into people, particularly millennials now?
Right. There is a major crisis that we have to accept in this generation. That is degradation of value system. It's fast. I mean, what used to be bad in the past is now becoming the model. I mean, the ideal.
And now we hear things like your truth, her truth,
yes.
his truth.
Right,
it's no longer the truth.
Yes. So the truth is, it's not black and white. The truth is the truth. So it's a big challenge, and it's something that we must accept, that we have a value deficit in this generation.
Sure.
And the fact that we are a product of the society we find ourselves.
Sure.
And as young persons, it's what you hear, it's what you have access to that defines what you think about.
True.
And what informs your own personality or whatever. So if, for instance, if I grew up in Oyo town, for instance, and a number of things I do today are influenced by my
environment.
But because I had to read wide, I had to
embark on self-development as well.
That told me a number of things I have to unlearn. So when we talk about value, we talk about in the intention of persons to either unlearn some things, to relearn. It's a whole lot of challenge. But then look at what journalism or what media can do to inculcate the right values. Like I said earlier, for someone to be incandescent about breaking news means there is a value deficit. So because if your own intention of posting stories is not to inform, trend, but to trend, then there is a value deficit. What we do is we publish news to hold government to account. And when you look at holding government to account, it means you want people to know the reason why they don't have good roads. You want people to know the reason why they have no access to quality healthcare. So if a journalist is guided by the ethics of the profession, that particular journalist ensures that everything he or she pushes out is right, and it is one
with the right motive
to educate and to make people make informed decisions about their choices. It is what people have access to that defines who they are. So, for instance, if I've never been out of this environment, for instance, that means whatever happens would be my access to my smartphone, the television that I watch, and a number of persons that come in here. So, if all the persons that are in here are people with the right values, it will shape me to becoming the person with the right value. And unfortunately, if the people I have here are not persons with the right value, it
You're-
affects me also.
exactly,
Because I
exactly.
would think there is no other word that exists
Apart from what
I
you're
have
currently,
there.
yeah.
It's not cast us. It's not something we can really decipher in that space. It's just for us to be clear, to accept that there is a value deficit challenge, and there is the need for us to start reorienting our people. I mean, right from the scratch.
Reorientation, yeah.
Right from the scratch, so that people get to know that what you've known to be the right thing,
it's not
really
you
right.
can't.
So you really
relearn.
have to, interrogate
Unlearn
that
and
space. Yes,
relearn.
and then unlearn, relearn, and then you embed the right values.
Wow. Thank you very much for coming on the show, Babatunde. So before you sign out, before we end this episode, one word to Nigerian youths.
What I would tell Nigerians is that you be intentional. Be intentional about your growth, be intentional about your development, being cognizant about a better future. And once you are intentional about this, then it leads you to the right steps to take when it comes to getting out of the clog of mediocrity. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for coming on the show, Mr. Babatunde Akintunde. It was nice talking to you. So I'll be with you right after the break.
Hello. You will agree with me that most young people have 5,000 to 100,000 naira and they're looking for genuine investment opportunities where they can invest their money to yield profits for the future. But many of them fall to scams and Ponzi schemes online. But today, I want to introduce you to the safest, less risk investment that 90% of the world billionaires and millionaires have attributed their success to, which is real estate.
Do you know that the value of land and real estate hardly depreciates? The value of land is always on the rise, but there's a problem. Before now, purchasing and investing in real estate was for a selected few who can afford up to 1 million naira, and also those with experience in sourcing and negotiating the best property deals. But now we have solved these problems for you. With Abit Crowd, we bring together people with small amounts of money, with or without real estate experience, and help them own land, landed properties, houses, hotels, and so on. As a group, using the blockchain technology, which is secured, fast, and fair.
Abit's crowd solution also makes it easy for anyone to get in, buy, own, or sell any of the investment stake in any real estate listed on our platform through the power of the Abit token called the Tatcoin.
Meaning, you don't have to wait or consult the other investors before you can sell off your own part of the investment. You can sell off a slot with just a click of the button and the money is in your Naira account.
Come, join and be a part of this amazing real estate revolution by visiting abitcrowd.com and downloading the Abit Crowd app today.
Yeah, so now I have seen Babatunde off and you listened to us while we talked. There is a lot just going on and we can't just pretend that everything is all right. This generation is in distress. The value deficiency is a lot and it's affecting us. We all cry about wanting the society to change. Yes, the government has a lot to do, but our values has a greater role to play. So everyone is a work in progress, myself inclusive. We have to always strive to develop ourselves. Self-development has a lot to do with the values that you live by. We should always try to work on our soft skills, work on the things that we believe in. Just because you grew up in a place where the bad thing is a norm doesn't make that bad thing acceptable. Okay? So we as consumers of news have to be particular about the channels we take this news from. Personally, there are some places I would never take anything churned out on seriously. Okay, this will go a long way to help us. And you, the newsmaker, what is your purpose for making this news? Self-gratification? At the end of the day, after all the clicks and all of the social media followership, where is your conscience? Let us use our platforms to effectively transform people positively, to make them, become the best that they can be positively. And just before I sign out, I want to ask you a question. Have you bought your Tatcoin? You should go get your Tatcoin. You would be grateful in a few years from now. All you need to do is visit the website on your screen, www.abitnetwork.com. Go get your Tatcoin and become a Tata. My name is Marilyn Oma Anona, and I'll keep loving you. Stay inspired.